emerging profiling tools to enhance research visibility. So before starting my presentation, I would like to share my academic journey because when I was in the early stage of my research, that time we were not knowing how to publish the article, even how to put all the academic profiles. So even after that writing of various articles, then I came to learn that yes, we can write good articles with the high impact with the research with the various research community. So that eventually has may give me the habit to write very articles in very highly impacted journals. So whatever mistakes we have done previously at the earlier stage, then we come to know that in at this middle stage, how to overcome with this lacunas or whatever mistakes we have done. Although we are learning from the mistakes, and that's why whatever mistakes are there, we have to learn something new with the every mistakes. So what I'm here focusing on that how to do your profiling tools to enhance your research visibility. So that is more important. So welcome to this presentation. And Dr. Chikate sir has given a very good topic, webinar topic, ethical quality aspects of research in present era. So when we say ethics, we have to follow the ethics, moral ethics we have to follow, legal ethics we have to follow. And if we follow all these copyright, legal or ethical issues, then automatically our research article will be having a good quality in this present era. But from our side, from research community side, what I am suggesting that digital footprints are very important. Now you can see here this slide, research IDs. So there are many research IDs I have written here. Okay. So for what purpose I have written here all these IDs? Because in this digital era, it is very necessary to create our digital identity. So if you are okay, you are publishing a quality paper, that is okay. You are publishing in a indexed, very good indexed databases, that is also okay. But if you are publishing the article and if nobody is reading, although your article have has a good quality, okay, but still somebody is not reading, somebody is not citing, then there is a question why we have published that article. Okay, so if you are publishing the articles, then go for the digital identity. Although we can say that it is a just a marketing of our publications, and nowadays it is very important to make a footprint or even digital footprint on the social medias or on these academic medias. So this presentation basically endeavors to throw a light on what is meant by research impact, research visibility, then things to note before and after publishing, and how to raise the research visibility and the research profiling. So we are going into the depth because most of the resource person they have covered some of the topic like research impact, research visibility, and every resource person is saying that we have to after publishing we have to raise our research visibility. Now this is the COVID situation, we are in the lockdown situation and we are facing a COVID virus problem. So we have to boost our energy, we have to boost our immunity. So what I am suggesting that in this COVID situation we have to boost our research visibility. Although we are boosting our immunity, but at the same time we have to boost our research visibility also. So before going further for this presentation, I just want to ask some question to all the participants, and for this I will use this poll system. You have to just click on various options are there. So I am launching the poll. So for just wait for 1 second so that I can launch. Do you have a research ID? So that this opinion is very valuable for my presentation, because if we are not having your research ID. Now you can see that do you have you seen the polling? I just want to confirm with the panelist. Hello. Dr. Chikade sir.
Yes, yes, madam. Yes.
Ah, so wait for some time. Participants are polling.
Okay, okay.
And this polling is very important because whether I have to go into the depth of this presentation, whether I have to just brief the participant for this, it is very important. Do you have your research IDs? So the from the result we are observing that I am observing that some 29% participants. Now we have a 505 participants. Okay. So 29% participants are saying they have a research ID and 71 participants they are showing that they don't have a research ID. So I think we have to go into the depth, although some time paucity is there, but still that so this presentation will hopefully give some new thoughts to create your research ID and to boost your research visibility. So you can see here that in the slide after publishing what? So you have published a very good paper, even a high quality paper, or even a high quality citation databases like Web of Science you have published, Scopus you have published. But ensure that the paper should be get noticed by others. Otherwise, there is no meaning to write the papers. And I remember the Dr. S.R. Ranganathan's law, every book is reader. So every bit of information has its reader. Once we publish the paper, it will, in near future, it will get noticed by others and they will definitely use it. So after publishing papers, what about the citations? So generally what happen, we will forget after publishing. We are very satisfied with the publication. Yes, we have a number of papers, good number of paper, 180 paper, 150 paper. But I think there is no sense when we are having the quantity. Quality is mattering. Okay. So what I'm here suggesting that after publication, you should also take care about how to raise your visibility. Okay. So publishing a high quality paper in scientific journal is only the halfway to receive the citation. Although you have a good publication, you have a good databases, citation databases, all these things are there, but still there is a need to disseminate the publication by using the various research tools. And why we have to use these research tools? Because automatically it allows to increase the research impact. Okay, so don't forget after publishing you have to do also the exercise. When we are in the early stage, career stage, that time what happened? We publish the paper, we forget it. Okay, and then we are not putting in self archiving. Yesterday we had a good lecture of self archiving. So we generally forget after publishing. So what I'm here suggesting that use this tools, research tool or profiling tool, so that you can have a greater research visibility. So why research visibility? You can see in this slide that there is a publication role. Okay, so publication role in at national level or international level ranking is done by the various agencies like our NAC. NAC is asking for your publications, research publications. Since apart from various criteria for ranking, one of the criteria is for research publication or even research metrics they are asking. And because of this UGC API or PBS, we have to write something and then we have to publish it, and based on that our promotions are there. So for that also we have to write. And you are surprising to know that if we are submitting our research proposal at international level or even at national level also for any funding, they are also seeing their research visibility, means research metrics they are seeing. Based on that only they are providing the fundings for your research project. So keep in mind that you have to publish, and after publishing, qualitative publications you have to do, and after publishing, research visibility is more important. So assessment of research quality and excellence is done by the research publication, and if you have very good publications, then automatically it will increase the accessibility and visibility of your published paper. Here, just I want to focus on that quality is mattering. Okay, quality, there is no alternative for quality. So you have to publish a qualitative paper, but only publishing a qualitative paper, that means it is only the halfway. Okay, it is not a full way to increase your research visibility. So if you are using your research visibility tool, there are the chances of getting a publication cited by more. There is also chances of being found, read and cited. And once we publish good papers, and if we are using all these profiling tools, then there is a chances of research collaboration. Okay. So research collaboration, you may find a call from the international level or even national level. We can do this collaboration uh, with you, and it will automatically increase the research visibility. And once you published your papers, means you have to disseminate, and how to disseminate it, that is based on the peers you can disseminate, based on the public or funding bodies you have to disseminate your knowledge. And you often heard the phrase that publish or perish. Okay, so publish and perish is the phrase which is very useful for the academia, and this phrase is given us the pressure to publish papers in our academic community, so that we have an identity. So not only publish and perish has given the pressure in the academia to publish only, but nowadays it is the necessity to do the innovative works, and which leads to the commercialization of their research outcome. And ultimately, whatever research we are doing, it will serve the society better. For example, do you think that any paper which is related with COVID vaccination, that will be very useful to the society? Because nowadays everybody is means waiting for the vaccination of the COVID. So whoever is developed that COVID vaccination, that will be a really a great help to the society. So with research, we can serve our society better. So let us see the research impact and matrix. It generally the research effect from outside the academia, economic, society and culture. And there are some quantitative measures are there for citation matrix. Just Dr. Professor Kumbar sir has given a very good presentation on the matrix, some part of the matrix, and that are commonly used by our academia as an indicator of the influence for research and the researcher. And these citation metrics are useful to the researcher to help them identify the key publications and key authors in the field. So there are three segments of this research impact or matrix. First is journal impact, second is author impact, and third is article impact. So let us see one by one what is journal impact. And it can be calculated with the international and national levels also. So journal impact can be calculated based on the Web of Science, that is a very good databases and peer-reviewed databases of all the journals which has been cited by this indexing and extracting services. So journal impact factor and immediacy index, Eugen factor, even Scopus, that is from the elsewhere, they are providing this journal impact factor with the site score, Scimago journal ranking, then source normalized impact factor, and they are also providing these Scopus, Web of Science, or even Google Scholar. Just now we have seen in the presentation of Professor B.D. Kumbar, H index. Okay. And national level, there are NAS ranking for the agriculture scientist, and UGC journal care list is also there. So these are the journal impact factor through which we can calculate the impact factor of the journal. So I think journal impact factor is the next topic for the webinar, because many of the non-library science professional, they may not be knowing. So I'm just skipping this. Then second one is we have seen that journal impact matrix. Second one is author impact of the author. Whenever we publish a paper, then how this paper is really useful for others, we have to also see that one. So if a number of scientists and B number of scientists is there. So A number of scientists is having a 100 papers and B number of scientists is having a 50 papers. But B number of scientists is having a very good citation. That means their impact, that author impact is very much effective, because many of the other researcher, they are using this their paper, and which comes from the qualitative paper. So quantity is not mattering, just quality is mattering. So whenever you publish a paper, you just see that quality should be there in your paper. There are various ways to measure the author impact, that is document count, the number of publications an author has authored, citation count is also there, the number of times an author publication are being cited by other researchers, document count which is given by the Web of Science, then Scopus or even Google Scholar, they are providing the I10 index, everything. H index, just we have seen, I10 index is also there. The number of publications with at least 10 citations. Okay. So here you can see the screen, how this Web of Science or even Scopus, some of the screens I have taken. So if you do the search of author search in the Web of Science core collection, then you can identify that author metric is there. So like what is their citation, what is their H index, then what is the I10 index. So automatically all this Web of Science or even Scopus or even Google Scholar or even other databases, they are providing you the author metrics. Like see here that article impact on the Web of Science. So once you do the search, article level search in Web of Science, then you may be finding that here at the right side, right pan of the screen, that time cited. So 1370 time it is cited, and usage count is also given. So that will give the article impact. So this is the article, and based on this article, how many users or other researcher has cited that article, you can see in the Web of Science. Even if you do the Scopus search, then conduct a Scopus means document search in the Scopus in the right hand panel, it is giving that yes, cited how many times it is cited. So that we can here take. Then Google Scholar. Just now the Google Scholar article impact, Professor Kumbar sir has given the stress on the article impact. So if you search on this science mapping software tool, then you can see here that different type of Google Scholar impact. So once you click on the cited, sir has already, so I am just skipping that one. Then article impact in the III Explorer Digital Library. So these also give the number of paper. This paper is cited by others. The second matrix is Altmetrics, which is nowadays it is very impactful. Whatever publications, other social media such as Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, blog post, and social bookmarks, whatever publications we have, if that publication is used by Twitter or Facebook, or publication is mentioned in the Facebook or Google, then it will automatically calculate your Altmetrics. So this is a good way to calculate your immediate impact of work in comparison with the citation. Okay. So there are different tools to calculate this Altmetric. First is total impact story, and now it is called as a impact story. LinkedIn, PLOS, even Scopus is also linking with the Altmetric tools. Then Plum Analytic is also there. So what kind of data is being measured with this Altmetric? So it will give you the usage, means how many number of times your work has been viewed or accessed or downloaded. It will also give you the mentions, how many times your work has been blocked, how many times your work has been mentioned in the Wikipedia. It will also give the social media like how many likes you have for that particular article, or LinkedIn also give you how many time it will receive. Then sites also in Web of Science, how many citations your work has received in Web of Science, PubMed or Scopus, and the capture. Even you can use this Mendeley and Jotaro. It is a very good tool for capturing or sharing how many times your article has been bookmarked in the Mendeley or Jotaro, or even Site UK, and the frequency can be calculated with this Almetric databases. Then my next slide is regarding fundamental things to note before the publishing. Because whenever we publish a paper, that time we are taking care of like what should be the content, in which journal we should follow, we should publish. So like this we are taking a care, but we are not taking a care from the point of view of this research profiling, okay, or in the point of view of research visibility. So this is more important. Whenever you write your paper, or in that paper you are writing your affiliation. So whatever affiliation you have, like your institutional affiliation, you are writing. Like somewhere I am writing RTMNU Nagpur University. Somewhere I am writing that Rashchandra Tukodji Maharaj Nagpur University. So all this problem we are facing while writing our paper as an author. So what I'm suggesting here, that whenever you are writing your affiliation, choose one affiliation in all the papers. It should be consistent, okay? Or even faculty, like somewhere library science is coming under the previously it is coming under different faculty. Now it is coming under the faculty of interdisciplinary. In some university, it is coming under as a department of library science, or department of school of library science. So give your proper affiliation, author affiliation. Then author name. Sometimes what happen, we are using SR Litkar. Sometimes what happen, we are using Shalini Litkar. Sometimes we are using Shalini Ramdas Litkar. So that will create some name ambiguity. Although ORCID is there, we will go into the depth later in later slides. But we should, what I'm suggesting here, that we should consistently follow the names. Like SR Litkar, if I'm following, then you should use that name consistently. So I'm taking all my examples. So don't you think that I'm marketing myself, okay? So don't take it otherwise. Just I'm taking all my examples because there is no alternative. Because whatever profiling I have created, that I just want to share with you. So I'm taking my name all the times. Then journal selection. So journal selection, just sir has suggested, Professor Kumar sir also, go for the Scopus, then Web of Science check. It is giving the source list in Scopus, or even Web of Science. They are providing the master journal list, and even UGC care list. You can use it, okay, for publishing the paper. But from the profiling side, what I'm suggesting, your author affiliation should be consistently followed. Your author name should be consistently followed. And at the early stage, we are not knowing about all this. But now we are in the middle stage of our career. So whatever mistakes we have done, you should not repeat that mistake in terms of your research visibility in your research community. So that's why I'm suggesting all this. So just I'm seeing that we have to, in the COVID situation, we have to boost our immunity. So at the same side, we have to boost our research visibility also. So what are the ways to boost our research visibility? We can see that, just a minute, I will just share, adjusting my screen. So first thing is manage your profile. So create your profile. That is only the first thing, and we are going into the depth how to create your research visibility. Then utilize open access resources. Third thing is deposit your publication in institutional repository, or even the self archive, which Madam Dr. Mangala has already covered in yesterday's lecture. Then promote your research online with social media, engage in academic social network, and identify the reach and visibility of your work with the Almatrix. So these are the some of the ways to boost your research energy. Then we are going into the depth how to create and manage your research profile. So creating and managing our research profile with Archid, Scopus, author ID, researcher ID, and once we create our researcher ID, our author profile in the Scopus or Archid ID, then we are solving the problem of the name ambiguity. Even researcher profiling ensure your research work are correctly attributed. So for this, we are using the ORCID ID. Most of the resource person, they are saying it is a Aadhaar card for, it is like a Aadhaar card, but I'm saying that it is like a Aadhaar card for the general public. But ORCID is a Aadhaar card for research community. So if you don't have your ORCID ID, then please create your ORCID ID so that you can solve the problem of author name ambiguity and your researcher profile. Your work will be correctly attributed by the others. So whenever you create your profile, so you don't blank that profile. Do not leave your researcher profile blank. Okay, fill all the details when you create your ORCID ID. Make sure you populate with them with the publication. Researcher profiling tools are not self-contained. We have to link it. So there is a facility to synchronize it. So that facility you have to adopt it. You have to just click on the synchronize. It can be synchronized with the ORCID and it can be synchronized with the researcher ID, Scopus ID. Keep your researcher profile updated. Otherwise, what happened? We have created in 2016, okay, or still we are not updating. Then that means you are not updated and it is publicly showing. So please keep your updated profile with all the research IDs. Information on your profile should be consistent across your all profile. Somewhere we are writing SR Leadkar, somewhere we are writing Shalini Ramdas Leadkar, somewhere we are writing Shalini R Leadkar. So we should avoid it. Even previously, I don't know about all this, but whenever in future I will publish it, then I will be consistent in writing the names. And make sure set your profile which is viewed by the public. There is one option in all the IDs. It should be made by the viewed by the public. And maximize the use of your profile by embedding the links on your website or even in your mail signature. So just I want to take your opinion, which profiling tool you are using for research ID or web present. For again, I will use this polling system. So can you please
Yes, madam.
can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Not this one. Just a minute. Yes, I am launching the polling once again. Are you seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, poll it so that we can go further into the depth. I can decide we can go further into the depth or not. Just wait for some time. So I am seeing the results that previously we got a result that 72% people, they are not using their research IDs or creating their research IDs. So here our next poll is which profiling tool you are using for creating your research IDs or web presence. So I have given different options like Scopus ID, WOS ID, Pablan ID, Google Scholar. Okay, I'm seeing the result that Google Scholar, many of you are following Arcade ID, social medias, academic network, Vidwan databases. So you are seeing so everybody has polled, I think. So the result is most of the users means participants, they are using their Google Scholar ID. So apart from, okay, it is good, you are maintaining your Google profile and you are using for as a research ID. But apart from Google, what I have seen in result that means nobody is using, means very less number of participants, they are using the Scopus, even Web of Science, or nowadays it is a Publon. So please use that IDs, create that IDs. So there are different tools or profiling tools with that we can use this research ID like Scopus, Web of Science is there, Publon is there, Google Scholar is there, Archive is there, LinkedIn, ResearchGate, Academia, social networkings and academic networks. RMP sites are also there which allows you to create your profile like Mendeley or Jotero. RI archives is also there, Vidwan is there, and lastly Almatrix is there. So all these are the research profiling, and we will go into the depth that how to create the research profiling with all this. And if time permits, then some of other ways also to how to do create your research profiling. So these are the tools for creating a research profiling, that is ARCID, Scopus, Google Scholar, and Research Scholar. So let us see one by one how to do it. So ORCID, many of you may be knowing that yes, ORCID is there, but what about the detail of the ORCID? So ORCID is an open researcher and contributor identifier. It is a unique identifier for a researcher. So once you allot your ORCID ID by the ORCID site, then it means it is a unique identifier. Okay, like our Aadhaar card. It helps to promote the discoverability of publication across multiple platforms, and it establishes a unique presence of the researcher regardless of the name variant and affiliation history. It is a 16-digit unique number and that connect you and your research activity throughout your career. So this is the example of ARCID ID. So why we have to use this ARCID ID? Because it automatically records your work, your employment detail, your awards, your research grant throughout your entire career. So it can be linked up by with the many publishers, many databases, or many organizations. So it minimizes the time you spending on filling the forms and when you submit the research or applying for a grant. Even you are surprisingly to know that if we somewhere in a good qualitative journal, if we want to publish our paper, so without ARCID ID, they won't allow to submit the papers. So this is the importance of the ARCID ID or creating the ARCID ID. So it helps you to discover and your work, and it turns automatically to raise the visibility. So there are different name ambiguity or ambiguity with other similar names. Like sometimes I am writing that SR Leadkar, then sometimes so like this we can avoid this name ambiguity or in the different similar name with the other authors also. So this is the benefit of the work ARCID ID. So here is the workflow of managing the research profile. This is only the suggestive workflow which I have prepared. But if you want to add something, then you can add it. But with this my experience, I have suggested this workflow. Like first you have to clean up your Scopus profile. Why you want to clean up your Scopus profile? Because somewhere in our early career we are not knowing about all this, okay, like ARCID or then Web of Science or so, because we have published the paper with our name like SR Leadkar, sometimes Shalini Leadkar, sometimes other author name we are means our format of the name we are using. So first I am suggesting that clean up your Scopus ID and then again made that Scopus ID. Okay. So how then register for ARCID ID and then add publication from the Scopus to ARCID ID. Then again register researcher ID with Web of Science. Add your publication from the ARCID ID to the researcher ID. Then check the duplications. Okay. Sometimes we have a paper in Web of Science. Sometimes we have a paper in the Scopus. So all papers we are synchronized with the ARCID ID. But those paper, what I am suggesting here that those paper which are not available in Scopus or even Web of Science, then what about that paper? So there is a facility to manually add your works with the other than the Scopus and Web of Science. So that is there. So whenever you create your Scopus ID very effectively, then your visibility will be effective in all the ways. So this is only the workflow which you, if you want, you can follow for increasing your research visibility. Then let us see how to create your ARCID ID. Just go to arcid.org. Actually, I wanted to show you live demonstration, but due to low connectivity, because this meeting I'm hosting and connectivity may be low, so I have taken all the screenshots of all the IDs. Like, or go to the arcid.org. There is a like sign. Okay. So if you have already, there is a free. You are seeing that for researcher, for organization. Okay. So just go to research now, register now option is there. You have to just type your mail and create your password and sign with your ARCID ID. Because I have already there, and that's why it is showing that you forget your password. So you can also sign with the social media account. If you have a Facebook, then you can sign with that. If you have a Google account, you can sign with that and just fill up the form. Okay. So how to fill up the form? Write your first name, last name, primary mail, and then additional mail you can write. And you can add your another mail also. And this is more important. So there is a visibility setting in that. So because we are all this we are taking for raising our research visibility, so we have to do this option visibility setting. You can see here that everyone, so click on that so that everyone can, it may be publicly available and everyone can see your profile. So this is my ARCID ID number here. You can see that public record print view. You can also get a QR code from this. You can add it, your biography, like your employment detail, and then your educational qualification. You can add it. So whatever profile you have with your Word file, you can here paste it, and then it will automatically add it. So you can also add your publications with synchronized it. Like you can also create your QR code from here, and you can copy whatever QR code you have or whatever ARCID ID you have. You just copy that ARCID ID and you can use for your personal website also. So for paste it on your personal website. This is regarding the ARCID ID. Then let us see how to do our Scopus ID, creation of the Scopus ID. So generally, if you have a Scopus database subscription, then it is okay. You can go from there only. And if you don't have the Scopus, like I don't have the access of Scopus, so what to do? So first go to scopus.com, then free lookup. Okay, scopus.com and free lookup. There is a facility. We can search the author profile, or we can create the author profile from there also if you don't have the access of your Scopus databases. So what here you can observe that you just type the author name and then affiliation, then it will automatically search. So what I typed Shalini Nihitkar, and their profile is seen in this. So here there is a facility like you can add it, or there is a facility you just see that Shalini Nihitkar affiliation, then subject area you have to add, document by author. This is only the Scopus document. Okay. So if I have the 8 documents in Scopus, they are also providing total citation. So in Scopus, I have been cited for 19 times and the H index is 7. You can edit your author profile from here. You can see the screen, edit your profile. You can also connect with the ORCID ID, and Professor Kumar sir has also given the demonstration about Google Scholar Alert. So this facility is also here in Scopus or even in all the databases. You can set your citation alert. So once you published your article and somebody is looking for your article and somebody is used your article, it will automatically alert you. Yes, you have been cited by this particular author. So we have to make this alert active. Without activating the alert, we cannot receive the automatically mail. Okay. So just keep this alert active. So here you can, and one option is also there. View Mendeley profile. So here you can also see your Mendeley profile if you are using Mendeley, or if your Scopus is generally giving the access to the Mendeley. So if you are using the Zotero, that is also fine, but Scopus is giving the access to Mendeley. So if you have a Mendeley profile, you can see or you can connect here your Mendeley profile also, and automatically it will give you citation. So there are 6 steps to synchronize our work with this Scopus. So you don't have to type. Once you create your ORCID ID, that means it is a permanent and unique ID. Whatever publications you have added in your ORCID ID, it will automatically save in or synchronized with this Scopus ID. So there are 6 steps you can see here. Select profile name, review publication, review profile, send author ID, and send publication ID. I hope I am not taking much time. Okay. 20 to 15 minutes I can finish it. I will go faster. Okay, if you are getting bored, but what I'm suggesting, this is a way, means this is a very important topic as a research community, and if you want to show your visibility should be high for your NAC purpose or for any ranking purpose, then it should be, you should listen carefully. I'm requesting you. So this is the first review publication. So if you select your select profile, then go to select profile name. So it will automatically retrieve your name. Then review publication. So the Scopus will give you, means ORCID with the synchronized with the Scopus will give you the review publication. They will give you the list based on your name, and after that you have to review it for whether this publication is yours or not. So review publication is option is there. After that, review profile. So you can also review your profile. Yes, this public profile is with this publication. So here I have written the name Lihitkar Shalini Ramdas. So every time you have to write this name. Now generally don't miss, avoid it SR Lihitkar, Shalini R Lihitkar. If you want, then you can add your name fully. Shalini Lihitkar Shalini Ramdas. Then send author ID. You can send your author ID by mail and then send your publication. So all the publications are saved from ORCID to Scopus ID. Okay. So this is only the way you can synchronize with the ORCID ID, and you can link all the documents. So what we have learned till now, how to create a profile ID with Web of Science, how to create a profile ID with Scopus, and then this is a Web of Science researcher ID. Why this is why we have to create this research ID, because now it is on the Publon, and why we have to create this Publon ID, because automatically it is a new environment where you can benefit from the improved Web of Science and researcher ID, and it will automatically add your publications, track your publications, and manage your Web of Science record. So if you are creating your research ID, make sure that you open the means open to public should be facility. You should open it, and you can also update your profile. Then how to create this researcher ID with Web of Science? Just go to www.researcherid.com. Okay, if you have an access of Web of Science, then it is okay. But if you don't have the access, then go to researcherid and .com, and there you can join. Publon option is also there. Login to researcher ID on Publon is also there. So once you click on this researcher, then you can search your name. If you have published any paper with Scopus or Web of Science, then it will automatically, your name will be there. But if you have not published, still you can make your ID, so that in near future, if you are publishing some paper, then it will automatically, with Web of Science, it will automatically come here. So see that this ID is there, and there is a facility of summary also. So you can use it that. Then Publon account, you have to create a Publon account. It is very necessary nowadays, because it is called as a private dashboard, and which is integrated with the Web of Science, even ORCID, or all the academic journals. They are making it to import all our publications whenever we submit it. Or it will also, this is a very good facility, even whatever reviewing we are doing, that reviewing process also, reviewing papers also, it will integrate it. Or even if we are the editor of any journals, so it will work in one place with this Publon ID. And this is a private dashboard to control our public profile, and we have to create this Publon account. So for this, you want to go to publon.com, and account and registration process is there. You can continue it with the account, and if you have already, then they won't ask. But if you don't have the account, then go to register and create your account. It will only ask you about the email and the password, or even you can create a one password with Publon and Web of Science, or even EndNote also. So one password can be also possible. So here, create your profile with Publon. If you are creating, you can, this screen will show like dashboard summary, then public profile, import verified record. You can also import the records. My publication is also there. Peer review, if I am reviewing any publications, then peer review also you can add it. And editor records, if I am editing some journals or even some conference papers also, then you can keep here your editor records. So just I want to show you how to create the profile in this. So first, profile detail, you have to write your name. You have to write your alternative publishing name. Okay. So suppose previously, before marriage, I am Shalini Wagmare. After marriage, Shalini Liitkar. So there is a facility here. Otherwise, what happened in some participant, they might be having the question, especially ladies participants. Before marriage, we are publishing a paper. After marriage, what? So here there is a facility to Publon to give an alternative publishing name. So here I have written that Shalini Wagmare. So previous whatever Shalini Wagmare's authored paper are there, it will automatically retried with the Shalini Ramdas Liitkar. So this is, you have to keep it. Then how to export the verified record with the ORCID. So here import publication option is there. Import your publication. Okay. So import publication option, you can choose it. You can import this publication with the Web of Science, with the ORCID, with the DOIJ also. You can, means DOI, Digital Object Identifier, and there are various formats to download your publication or to upload your publication. So here in this screen, you can see that synchronize with the ORCID, import by the identifier, import by file upload. You can upload a file also, because we have already keep our profiles in the Word format. So you can upload it. Then how to link your ORCID to Publon. So everywhere you are observing that ORCID is necessary. It is like a Aadhaar card for our research community. So all Aadhaar card number we are writing everywhere. So here, once you create your ORCID ID, it will automatically synchronize with the other databases. So how to connect it? You can connect with the Facebook, LinkedIn. I am going into some of the slide I can skip because of the paucity of time. So here you can see that ORCID ID. If you want to connect with ORCID, you can connect with Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Scholar also you can connect it. So this is the connection of the ORCID ID, and you can see here that synchronized publication from the archive. So you don't want to feed the data in the Web of Science, it will automatically whatever ORCID ID you have publications, that it is synchronized automatically. So add publication manual facility is also there. If you don't have the publication in Web of Science or other, then you can manually also add the article. So here you can see that metric is summary is there, metric is there, publication is there, my means peer review is also there. So you can see here that whatever we have written while creating the your ID, like Shalini Wagmare. So both the names it is showing. Okay, Shalini Ramdas Litkar or Shalini Wagmare. So that is the very good facility available in Publon. So you have to create your the Publon author ID. So here you can see that publication is 52, total number of citation is 9 and H index is 2. And you can see here the impact over a time. It can be means year wise also, it can be month wise also. So like this you can see here year wise statistics. This is from 2000. I am not seeing here full screen, and that's why till 2020. Okay, so uh, what is my impact of research over a time? It is giving the matrix in a graphical form. So this is a publication in Web of Science. I have a 3 publication in Web of Science. Some of the cited 9, H index is 2, average citation per atom, average citation per year. So like this, they are providing some author these metric details. And this is I think Professor Kumbar sir has already talked about how to create this Google Scholar profile. So I am skipping this slide. Google Scholar is also, and one thing is this Google metric, it will gives automatically the H index and H10 index. Okay, so create your Google profile. This is my Google profile. You can see here that citation 175 citations, H index is 8 and I10 index is 6. So this is the good, Google is providing some facility. The next is deposit your publication in institutional archives, which Dr. Hirwade madam has already covered. So I don't want to repeat it, but just see that if you are self-archiving it, your publication, it will give you the records or per month over past year, how many times your article has been cited by others. So this type of statistics they are providing. You can use the blog, Twitter or LinkedIn, all the social media you can use it, and Twitter also you can use it, and by using the hashtag also you may be visible. And it is found that highly cited, highly tweeted article were 11 times more likely to be highly cited than less tweeted articles. LinkedIn is also the good platform, social academic platform to have your research visibility boosted. So here you can go for IN for India. So in.linkedin.com, you can go and you can create your profile here. It will give you the facility here is that automatically you can go for your network. So whatever subject is important for you, whatever content is important for you, you can choose your network, you can create your network. Then the next is engaging in academic social network, like Mendele sir is also telling. Jotero, ResearchGate, Academia is academia.u is also there. So all these social and academic networking, they are the sites which allows you to showcase your profile and research output, and it will automatically create your networks with other researcher, and whatever comments you are receiving, it will be converted or engaged in the scholarly communication, or it will disseminate your work immediately. So Mendeley can be used for this. ResearchGate also can be used. You can see here that researchgate.net. Library science people, they are knowing, but this is for non-library science professionals, those who are attending this webinar. So click to join. There is an option corporate, academic or student. So you have to choose this academic and student, and that fill the information, and that write your institution name, write your departmental name. One thing I wanted to share you that please take your all institutional email. Sometimes some of the platforms, they are asking you about your email, institutional email. So if you don't have the institutional email, or even Google Scholar is also asking your institutional email. Although from personal mail also we can create it, but if your university is having that facility, please use your mail so that it can be a credit to our university. Okay. So sign in with that. You can sign in with Facebook or something. Then homepage. This is the homepage of RG. One good thing is that here when you create your RG, it will give you the matric result or your impact result. But what I am liking here for the RG, that they will send you the related articles. Those who are interested to read, those I am very interested to read that article. That article they will automatically send you. Although there are some misconceptions regarding this research ID, but we should create all the means RG IDs because everybody is using, and it is a good metric. Means we have to use it. They will give you this RG stats report is there. You can see this report. Uh, then score you can also see that 6.76. So nowadays NAC is asking for your scores, means impact score. So you can write all the scores, okay, like H index, impact factor, means impact factor for journals. But if you want to write the RG score, you can write it, and NAC is also asking for that. So academia.edu also you can use it. You can see that how many people, million people have joined this academy. And one article which I found in the PLOs that the paper in academia is uploaded, papers in academia is uploaded, it will receive the 69% boost in the citation of your research visibility. Although there are some limitation when we are putting all the information in the social networks, so we should yesterday madam has already covered that preprint, postprint and published version, and we should also see the copyright policy. And if you are not very familiar with the copyright policy, then go to Sherpa Romeo policy, which already covered by the other resource person. One site is also there, how can I share it, you can also go for that. So these will give you the help. Then identify the research and visibility of your work with Altmetrics. This is impact story. You can use it. Altmetrics, bookmark, Marklet also you can use stories. This is the impact of story is the non-profit organization which creates and distribute tools and services for libraries, institution and researcher. So you just write the impact story. It will again ask you with the ORCID ID. Okay. So whenever you are using your Altmetric tools, it will ask you your ORCID ID so that they can take your all the publication in one in impact story or even other Altmetric tool. So this is the impact story. This site you can share this also, and once you have publications, you can see that here article 44, article, books, conference paper, book chapter. So for what we have to create this impact story ID, because it will, once our publications, whatever, suppose 53 publications are there, so 53 publication, if somebody is using with the social media, so it can calculate automatically. So here for this we have to use this all this tool Altmetric and then Altmetric book market. Because of this time paucity, I am skipping some of this slide. Plum X matrix is also there. This PLS is also there. Once you publish the article, this is for science. Once you publish the article, it will automatically takes your account from the Altmetrics. Then Vidwan is the Indian initiative. It is a very good source to identify who are the peer reviewers for your article and the research proposal. And it is a very good tools. If you don't have the Vidwan ID data, means creation of Vidwan ID, then you can create it. See that different number of experts, n number of experts are available in this Vidwan ID, and this is my Vidwan ID. So it don't publicly posted. It will first review. They will give some review process is there. They will review it your profile, and then they will give you the Vidwan ID. See here that Vidwan ID 42016. Okay. Then you can download your CV, reset password, Shalini Leadkar. So profile score also they are providing. So this way, this is a good tool to add your academic identity. One thing just I want to show here that in Vidwan ID, you can add your academic ID. That is very compulsory. That is very necessary, I think so. This is ORCID ID. If you have a ORCID ID, then automatically you just type your ORCID ID so that it can be linked up or embedded with this Vidwan ID. Then Scopus ID is you have to write, Research Scholar ID also you have to write, Google Scholar ID also you have to write. So once you create your all IDs, then you can go for the Vidwan ID so that all the IDs, academic identity in one place for the, this is the Indian initiative. After that, you can also use this IRINS, Indian Research Information Network System. It is also, you may be thinking that Vidwan is there, then why this IRINS? But IRINS is providing you, it is a very good tool to research information management service they are providing. It is a web-based research information management tool. The key feature is that once you create it, it will automatically discover, it will automatically give you the academic ID, and visualization they are using some tools for visualization like matrix studies, all this you can use. Then research impact, they will calculate your research impact. So this is our Indian databases. You have to create with one ID and IRINS ID. This is my INRS IDs, and you can see here that from 2004 to 2016. So first I joined in 2003, and immediately after joining 2004 I published the article in Library Herald. So when I published the article in Library Herald, and if means after publishing the article in Library Herald, it took 3 to 4 hours to cite that article. So once it is cited, then your research journey will start. Okay. So what I'm here want to suggest that once you write a paper and it should be cited by others, then we have created our research impact to the others. So that's why we have to create all this research ID. It will give you the citation statistics. Who are your co-authors? So like this visualization with the visualizations tools, they are providing you the citation. To sum up, I think I have taken a lot much of time. But to sum up with suggestion that for librarian, because librarian community and non-librarian community is also there. So for especially for librarians, provide citation search or fulfill service by using the various databases, because librarian is having the subscription of Web of Science, Scopus, or even other databases also. So once the faculty members come to you, then if they are not familiar with how to search, how to cite, means how to search their citation, then you can help them with this service, and you can also give this citation search service. So this will be the additional means services from library side. Then help the faculty members for creating the research profiling. So like this presentation, you can also make the presentation to your faculty so that they can also create the research profiling. Provide research support service. This can be provided with the help of Mendeley, Jotara, or other reference tool, or even plagiarism tool also you can give the demonstration. Provide help where to publish, like qualitative journals. It may be a Web of Science, it may be a Scopus, it may be a UGC care list, because faculty are always confusing where to publish it. So if the librarians can make them help to publish where to publish it, that will be a very good help for the faculties. Then create manuals or guide for boosting the research visibility. Nowadays, this is a good area for the all the LIS professional boost how to boost the research visibility, and for this I am suggesting one research visibility map which are not in the final stage. I am doing the research on that. Create INS databases through library. Motivate your staff to create all digital researcher ID. And I'm not here seeing this one. Create research visibility map. That is a very this is research visibility map. You can see I am proposing one research visibility map, and here I can say that how to publish it. You can give the guide. Then how to archive, you can give the guide to the all faculty members. How to create your web presence, you can also provide. And what is the impact matrix and all this, you can give a training. So this is not in the final stage. I am just proposing it, and I think this would be helpful for the librarians, and that's why I'm sharing this. But in future, I will do the research on this research visibility map. And for faculty, that is the suggestion for librarian. And lastly, I am suggesting all the faculty members and research scholars, those who are here, create your own research brand. Don't copy the styles of others. Okay. But for research, creating your own brand of research, it will take some time. Once we are joined in 2003, so that time we doesn't know anything, how to publish it, where to publish it. But after 17 years, then we have an experience. So this will create you, this will give you the real impact if you create your own research brand. So create your own research brand, then publish quality papers in peer review journals. Don't publish in predatory journals. And I think librarians can also suggest what are the predatory journals, how to search it. Okay. Then use the RMT tools like reference management tool, any tools like Jotero, Mendeley, EndNote, RefWork. There are many tools. So librarians can also give the training for that. Use plagiarism tool whenever you write. Keep digital academic identity updated. Create your YouTube videos. Create your own effective website. Use Figshare. Use SlideShare. Understand the copyright policy, and link your latest and greatest article in your professional email signature. And WhatsApp status of published paper. Once you publish your paper, you can make it a WhatsApp, because everybody is changing the WhatsApp with the our faces. So this is the suggestion. I also acknowledge here. Again, one polling is there. Just last polling I would like to take. So I am launching one polling, last polling, that is, are you seeing? Do you learn something new from this presentation? So I end up with this. Do you learn something new from this presentation? So I am getting the result. Just wait for 2 seconds. So I have given a different option like yes, no, and no comments. So if you learn something new from this presentation, then it is very good. If you are somebody has given that no comments, so whatever lacunas are there with this presentation, I can come up with in near future about this presentation. So what do you think, that social media is a waste of time, Facebook is a waste of time, or even Twitter is a waste of time? I think if we use all these technology in a very good and effective manner for our academic community, then it will be not wasting of time, because automatically it will show our impact. Okay, so I acknowledge the work of all the author which I have used for this. Especially I am thankful to Dr. Sarika Sawan. She has given a very good lecture in previous webinars. So I learned from Sarika Sawant also. I acknowledge the work of all the websites, social media portals, all academic networks. So what I'm here suggesting, that I have given you the seed, and it is your responsibility to make that as a plant and to grow that research visibility. It is in your hand. So learn something new every day. So thank you for patience listening, and thanks to the organizer for giving me this responsibility. I have taken a much time, so I am very grateful for that also. But I think this is from my side. I end up my presentation, and thank you once and all to all and participants for listening very patiently. Thank you.